and hate my guts, people recognize me. So I'm on a plane.
It is true.
First few fucking rows, look up, and it's like, oh, and he's putting his bag away. He's grabbing his thing. It's him, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just at Macworld. Maybe some of them were at Macworld, blah, 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 you know. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, I gotta get up, and everybody's gonna fucking know. Mm-hmm. Everybody's either gonna know I was too fat, or according to these fuckers, or assume I was too fat, or think I was like a shoe bomber.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, am I a fucking terrorist? Like, what is the safety issue?
How dare they?
What's the safety issue? I'm like, I keep asking later on. I'm like, am I going to explode? Is that the dude in Monty Python's? I'm like, what safety issue are you talking about? And nobody will fucking say it. Nobody will. Oh, I'll get there.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Suzanne, and Suzanne's making it clear that this is going to happen. And I'm not like, go get the captain, because I'm like, this is. Oh, I'm
right.
humiliated.
Well, we've talked about it before. You're not going to kick up a fuss on a flight. You're going to end up being escorted off in handcuffs.
No shit. Like, you know, I'm like, believe me, the first instinct is to go all Don Logan and shit, and just be like, I hope this goes into the sea, or you know, or just like, and then find the dude and be like, he touched my front bottom, you know, shit like
at this
that.
point, you're so glad I'm not with you, because I would have been.
Because you would be Don Logan, where you're like, you know, look, how about I put this cigarette out in your fucking eye, mate? That's you, and I'm the guy who's like the one you're threatening. I would never be that person. Inside, though, I was just like, oh my God, I wish I was that guy. But I quietly got up, collected my bag. This is the moment, though. This is the moment.
Oh, God.
The moment where I was like, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, Kevin. Because ultimately, it's just going to become a story that you're going to tell for the rest of your life. As I stand, my hand to God, this is a true story. As I stand and go to get my bag, I make perfect eye contact with a man who is far fatter and wider than me.
Oh, shit.
Squeezed in also to a middle seat 3-4 rows back. Perfect eye contact.
Right.
And at this moment, you know, if I have a lack of character, I'm going to be like, what about Tubby? What about him?
You would never do that.
I would never throw a fellow fatty under the bus or a plane, as it were. So I don't say anything. But that dude's fucking eyes, locked with mine, had this panicked expression of like, please don't tell, please don't tell.
Oh, no. I can't laugh at
Totally,
that.
because he saw me getting taken away, and he's like, I'm way fatter than him. They're coming for us. It's finally happened. They're coming for the fatties. They're taking us to Candyland to kill us. Yes, this dude looks so panicked. And so I collected my bag, went off the plane. Now, you're that stewardess. And she wasn't a stewardess. You're that flight attendant, the person that works the fucking desk. You're Suzanne. How fucking tripping over yourself are you to like fucking make sure that I'm not like crying at this point? I wait in the jetway. She's still doing her shit. Then I'm like, I fucking slowly walk up the jetway, depressed, seeing a camera shot from behind me of the wide man walking lonely up the jetway with his head hung low, dragging his bag. Me. Oh, it was heartbreaking. So I go over to this desk, which is, again, fucking 20, 30, fucking 40 yards away from the gate. And I get there, and the two people there are just like, is Suzanne dealing with you? And I was like, I guess. I hope so, buddy. And he goes, okay. And they go back to their fucking shit. And I sit there waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm not shitting you. 8 minutes, because I looked at my phone. I was like, if I went and told somebody or insinuated to someone that they were fucking too fat to fly on a plane and made them wait 8 fucking minutes before I got back to him, I would be Hitler. That's Hitler to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck where's your fucking, where's the customer service and the humanity? Never mind humanity. Look, maybe she's a fatty hater or whatever, fucking, whatever. I'm not saying you gotta respect me because I'm fat. I'm saying you gotta respect me because I'm a goddamn paying fucking customer. I'm revenue, motherfucker. That dude told me I'm revenue. You don't ever treat a paying customer like that. Ever, 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 ever. And I realize that sounds ironic because I made Clerks. Clerks is a movie, people. I would never fucking treat people like that.
And really, like, I'm trying to count in my head. I think we bought 10 Southwest tickets this week.
No shit. I mean, I was sitting there doing the math in my head going
Business
like,
Select, which is their version of Fancy.
$15 more.
You know, and like 10 just this week. Wow.
So
never again.
I'm waiting at the desk, and finally fucking Suzanne bombs up, and I'm like looking at her fucking badge and immediately writing her name down.
Of course.
And I was just like, and she was like, boy, I'm sorry about that. I was like, I bet. I was like, man, what's the name of the pilot? And she was like, I'm sorry. I was like, with the pilot who said I was too fat to fly. She's like, nobody said that. And I was like, why am I off the plane then?
Oh my God.
And she's going, nobody said you were fat. And I was like, what is it then? Why am I here? And she's like, there's safety concerns, sir. And I was like, what safety concerns are you talking about?
Of some sort.
And she goes, there is space allotment for each seat, and we're taking up more than your space allotment. I said, don't fucking do that. Just say fat then. She's like, I didn't say fat. That's your word, not mine. I said, lady, I ain't gonna sue you for calling me fat. I'm sitting here telling you I'm fat. But you're telling me, don't sit here and dance around like I'm taking up more space. Lady, that's a euphemism for fat. Like, just be honest with me. But they can't do that because then you could sue Southwest. But that's fat. Like, if you're telling somebody they're taking up more than their allotted space, that's just bullshit PC doublespeak.
A slur of words.
Hey, you're fat. Now, I'm fine with that. I am fat, and that's how I conduct myself in this life. I'm okay. I found a woman who'll fuck me. I got me a chubby chaser. And if I die early because I'm fat, that's my own fucking fault, my choice. But I am not fat enough to eject off of a Southwest airline flight simply for size. Not yet, motherfucker. I'll tell you when I'm there, because believe me, I'll be talking about it. And I am the guy who, I sat down a toilet and broke it off a wall.
And now, then you told the world.
And I told the whole fucking world, because there's only one way to live with a death mark like that.
Right.
You have to own it. Same with this bullshit with the plane.
Why we're here.
Oh my, absolutely. Because believe me, I was tweeting up a storm while I was waiting for my next flight. So I'm standing at the desk. I said, what's the pilot's name, ma'am? I need the pilot's name. She's going, we don't give that out. I was like, oh, you're going to have to give it out. I'm going to say, it's on all manifest. You have to give me the pilot's name.
Right.
And she was like, well, why? And I was just like, why? Because among the many things that I do, I'm kind of a journalist. And you really think I'm not going to talk about this? I was like, I need the pilot's name because he was the dude. You told me he was the dude who wanted me off, right? The pilot was? And she's like, that's what I said, sir. And I was like, yeah. But just say it. Like, I'm asking you, did the pilot tell you that I had to be ejected? And she's going, didn't I say why? And I said, don't run around, just simple yes or no. I was like, are you telling me?
She had no idea what she was dealing with.
Oh, she had no fucking
with you
clue,
so
man,
many
'cause I was
times,
just
and
like,
I know exactly.
I was like that fucking demon that springs up from the earth in Fantasia, man, because I was just like, you fucking have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me, lady. I'm way smarter than you. And I just sat there going, I just took her apart. Took her, and you know me, I go lawyer, man. Like, I don't fucking let you speak. And when you speak and say something completely
tears
ignorant,
it apart.
Oh, I'm good. I'm real good at that
by
shit.
word.
And this chick was
dismantled
just like,
any logic.
Honestly, in her eyes, what I was suspecting, and I don't know if this is the case, but why I kept asking her, what did the pilot say? Give me the pilot's name. I don't think the pilot said anything. I think it was the dude in the doorway, and she made a decision on her own. But she kept saying, why would I come down, sir? And I was like, I don't know why you came down. Suzanne, I said, but my ass didn't even hit the seat, and you were in my face. And it took longer to get here from the desk than somebody else had to bring you down here. And I think it was the dude in the jetway. And she's like, we have phones. I was like, I realize you have phones, but I know the pilot didn't see me.
Right.
I know. I couldn't see the pilot. He couldn't see me. It is impossible. Tell me the pilot called you down there. And she was like, I told you what happened. I was like, tell me the pilot called you down there. It wasn't
At this
the pilot.
point, are you yelling?
This is the exact voice I'm doing. Luckily, barely anybody around.
I was going to say
2 or 3 people, but I don't
camera
care.
Phones out.
I don't care. Even if there was, I was justified. I was righteous.
Absolutely,
at this point.
absolutely.
And then we had the whole fucking you're fat. I'm fat, and she's like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Right.
And I was like, ma'am, you still have to tell me why I was ejected from that flight. You still haven't done it. She's like, there are safety issues. And I was like, ma'am, what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm going to explode on a fucking flight? Like, what does that mean? And she was like, could you excuse me? And she went to get a manager. She brings the manager back. And his name was Eric, I think. Eric Diaz or something like that. And he was very, the dude's just like,
what have I walked into here?
Oh, my God. The dude is just like, man, I wish I was at the other desk. Why am I here right now? Because he's been hearing it and he's seeing it, and he's seeing how. And because I'm just like, ma'am, you got to tell me the captain's name. Tell me. She gave me the captain's name. I was like, what's your name? And she's like, you can see right here, it's Suzanne. I was like, I know, but I need your last name. She's like, we don't give out our last names.
Oh yeah, there was no way she was giving you her last name.
And I said, why is that policy? You know my last name. I was like, how can you know my last name and I can't know your last name? I was like, I don't agree with that policy, ma'am. What's your last name? And she wouldn't give it to me. And I was just like, you gotta give me something. She's like, I'll give you my ID number.